welcome. Good morning. Well, good morning. It's my morning anyway. Hope you're having a good day and you are well and safe and warm. My name is Randall and welcome to the Sanctuary Yoga program online. Usually, of course, we are live at the Sanctuary, but today we're live on the internet and we're very excited that you're here and that you're able to watch the video and share with us the yoga that we present at the Sanctuary. So yeah, welcome. I was going to do reggae yoga, which is one of my favorite things today, but due to copyright problems, Facebook will mute my video, mute the audio at least of the video, if I play songs that aren't licensed. So can't do, sorry. But I do encourage you to put on your own reggae music, not only during yoga, but all day long and all night as well. That will keep you in the right vibes. Anyway, let us sit on a cushion or folded blanket, lifting the hips, arrange the legs into a comfortable position. Cross-legged position is called Sukhasana. Sukhasana. From the word sukha. Sukha means sweet, comfortable, supportive, nurturing, all those things that we all hopefully have and maintain in our lives. So we always want to create sukhasana in a way in every pose. So with the legs arranged, the hips nice and firm on the floor. Let's take the hands back and behind you. Touch the fingers to the floor and draw the shoulders back and the heart forward. And so push the ribs forward, draw the heart forward. Let's let the head be forward. So the shoulders are dropping down, opening backwards, heart lifting forwards, and the head relaxed forwards. Take a moment and soften the face. Soften the face. Especially the eyes. The eyes have a lot of energy, a lot of prana. A lot of energy comes into us through the eyes. It's one of our main senses. And also we spend energy through the eyes. And part of yoga is really trying to gather and retain energy inside of us. So softening the eyes, having the focus go inwards. It's one of the ways that we gather extra prana and energy. And even if the eyes are open, try to let them be soft. Good. A few more breaths here, just having the chest going forward. Nice. Let's bring the head up. Relax the arms. Draw the arms up over the head. Good. Have the arms activated, but shoulders pulling down, spine pulling up. Soft eyes. If possible, in any pose, the eyes can close. Just keep that gentle, continuous lift. All right, we're trying to activate the spine. We're activating the body, and in particular the spine. Let's release the arms down. Walk them forward and just let the body drop forward into a forward bend. It's going to a place that is comfortable. You feel maybe a little pull. If you don't feel any pull, that's fine. Just go to a place where there's a natural limitation and just stay inside that limitation. Remember, definitely yoga is about sort of moving the boundaries and our limitations outwards. But we also have to consider and refine our relationship to that edge, to that boundary. Right? How much is enough? How much is too much? What is not enough? Always important things to consider when we try to expand, right? Deepen our shapes, deepen our practice. Good. Walking it back up. Draw the arms up again. Find the lift of the spine. Good. Let's take a simple twist to the left. So keeping that chest lifted. The upper body over the hips. Drop the shoulders. Keep the head on top of the spine. Just feel the activation. Feel the gentle limits. So you can, in every pose, you can only go so far. There is definitely always an end to the pose. And of course, everyone has a personal end. If you're less flexible, you won't go around as far, but that's fine. That's your body. You find that place where the pose won't go any deeper. But it will go deeper if you just practice and wait and breathe. Draw the body up to center. Lift. Keep the lift as you twist now to the right. Just lifting up, shoulders dropping down. Very nice. Let's come back to the center. Lift again. This time touch the shoulders with the fingertips and let the shoulders go down. I've been doing this one a lot lately. I like it. Simple rhythmic side to side movement. So let's just keep it slow. So the head stays really straight on top of the spine. We're not leaning to the sides. We're really staying with the spine in the axis. And just letting the body go left and right, twisting on that axis. It's a good one for digestion, especially if you have a sluggish digestion, what they call mandagni, this low power of digestion. If you don't digest well, then definitely you should do this one regularly. Helps to activate the digestive system, get things moving, get energy and prana to the digestive system. Very nice. Slowly return to the center. Let's take the fingertips back one more time, touching the floor lightly behind you, and lift the chest. Have the head on top of the spine or forward. Now let's activate the breath a little bit more directly. So in this position, start to inhale a little bit more deeply, lifting and opening the chest. Exhaling, relaxing a bit. Breathing through the nose at all times in the yoga, unless that is impossible. And if possible, also maintaining ujjayi, what they call the breath of victory, the basic fundamental yogic breathing technique during the practice. It's that technique where you can hear the sound of the breath flowing because the back of the throat is slightly rounded, slightly closed. Starting to create an activated breathing pattern here. Remember that our breath in yoga is activated as much as possible, that we are paying attention, guiding, and trying to keep the breath a little bit deeper and a little bit controlled. And that we're trying to create a smooth, even, and steady breath as much as possible for as long as possible. Very good. Finish the exhalation. Relax that. Let's move to hands and knees. Place a blanket under the knees if necessary. Place the arms solidly under the shoulders, the knees, under the hips. Good. Let's just go to child's pose. Well, let's just move side to side. Softening, letting the body be loose and open. Good little massage for the sacroiliac joint and the hips and the lower back and the knees and the ankles. Good. Let's flow a little bit. Next inhalation, coming to hands and knees, filling the lungs, lifting the chest. Exhalation, going back. Keep going. Inhalation, coming forward, hands and knees. Exhalation, going back. The conscious activation of inhalation and exhalation, letting inhalation be deeper, encouraging the chest to expand, the inhalation to be deeper and fuller, filling the lungs. Exhalation is smooth, also conscious, gentle, controlled, steady release of breath. Good. So remember, the breath opens gradually, just as the body opens gradually. We start gently, and then as we go, things gradually, slowly open. Right? The muscles start to become warmer and longer. And the breath does the same, so it takes time. We just start with simple movements of the body, simple openings, simple activations of the breath. And then gradually more becomes available to us as we open into the practice. Very good. Next time you come forward, hands and knees. Good. Let's bend the elbows a little bit. Good. And make sure the elbows are pointing towards the back, towards your hips, right? Not out to the sides. Pull them in. Right? So if you drop a little bit further, the arms are quite close to the side body. Good. And let's do that. Just drop a little bit more till you feel the arms working. Take a few breaths in there. And we have to feed the posture with conscious breathing for the posture to really work, really get deeper. Very nice. Straighten the arms. Drop your body onto the floor. Tops of the feet down. Oh, let's just come onto the forearms. Elbows under the shoulders. Forearms are parallel. Middle fingers pointing straight forward. Let's lift up. Lift the chest forward. Even almost pull the elbows back towards you a little bit to pull the chest forward and up. Good. Let the legs be firm and the bum be firm. So whole lower body is working and alive. Breathe into the pose. Very good. Let's release it down. Place one cheek on the floor, arms by the sides. Good. Let's activate the legs, activate the arms. Inhalation, lift the chest, look forward, keep the legs down. Exhale down. One cheek on the floor, inhalation, lift. Exhalation down. Good. Keep going like that. A few more. Remember, of course, in the practice, you rest when you need to. If we're doing more than you can do well and where you can maintain your breath, then just rest anytime. It's fine. I'm just making suggestions as to what you could do and how long you could do it. If you need to do less, then of course, do less. If possible, next time you've lifted up, stay in the pose. Legs are firm, bum is firm, arms are firm, back is firm, breath is flowing. Next exhalation, drop it down. Relax the body for a moment. Keep the breath active. Soften the face. Take the hands next to the ribs. Let's push it up to hands and knees again. Exhale the floor back, child's pose. Inhalation. Hands and knees. Exhalation back. Now let's see if we can focus on creating the deeper inhalation. So as you come forward, hands and knees. Just keep inhaling, even if you run out of movement. Keep inhaling until you feel a maximized inhalation breath. Remember the guidelines for going to the edge in any pose or any breath is that about 80%. We go to the 80% close to the edge maximum. Right? Generally past 80%, all the way to the edge, 100% edge, right, tends to create closure and blockage. So always leave some space, which is of course a spiritual idea that you could engage in any part of your life. Always leave a little space. So as you come forward, right about inhalation, about 80% maximum, definitely intense. but not all the way to closure. Yeah. Good. Next time you come to hands and knees, stay there and finish the exhalation. Then slide the right leg back. Lift it up. Good. Remember, we'll keep the hips aligned, right? So don't open it up like this. Keep the toes pointing down. Good. On your exhalation, lift the spine. Bring the leg in. Face and knee going towards each other. Inhalation, extend. Lengthen. Exhalation. Inhalation, extend. Exhalation, tuck in. Use the breath, right? Expand, inhalation. Heading together, exhalation. Hopefully you can feel some heat building up because of the movements, because of the breathing. The internal heat starts to build. Good. Finish the exhalation. Place the knee down. You can go to child's pose or roll it up. Sitting on the heels. From whichever position. Let's keep the breath quite activated. Inhalation nice and full. Exhalation smooth and long. Right, inhalation filling. Really feel the breath coming up all the way into the upper chest, under the shoulders, into the back. So even if we're not doing any kind of deep posture, the yoga is there, the breath remains, the activation of the prana and the flow of life force and energy. Good. Gradually making your way back to hands and knees, this time the left leg. Coming up, toes pointing down, heel about the level of the hip, not open this way. Basically, the hips remain in the same position, even when the leg comes out and up. No change in the hip. Take a big inhale here, exhalation. Head and knee go towards each other. Inhalation, lift the chest. Lift the heel up out to the height of the hip. Exhalation. Head and knee together. Inhalation, expand. Exhalation, tuck it in. Right, breath flowing, movement flowing, attention flowing. We definitely want all these things to continue flowing together. Breath, body, and attention. It's really the essence of this yoga. Because all these things are always moving and changing. But if we keep them in a relationship, that's what is called yoga. Continuous cultivation of the relationship. The connection. Good. Next time the head and knee go towards each other. Release. Child's pose or sit on the heels. Go back to long, deep, steady breathing. Really filling the lungs. Breathing in, breathing in, breathing in, breathing in, breathing in, feeling the 80% maximum. Good. While you're breathing, let us then pay a little bit of attention to Antara Kumbhaka, pause after inhalation. So once you take your full inhalation breath, and the lungs are filled, and then the breath stops, then for 1 or 2 seconds only, wait for a moment. Then exhalation, smooth and slow. So you inhale deeply. Antara Kumbhaka, pause for a few seconds. 1, 2 seconds, pause, exhalation, slow and smooth. Good. Keep going, deep, steady, flowing breath. Good. Very nice. Finish the exhalation. And if you haven't already, sit up on the heels. Lean back onto the palms or the fists. If you have delicate wrists, then just make a fist and then put the fist onto the floor. Good. Let's expand the chest again. Inhalation, lift and open. Exhalation, round. Inhalation, lift and open, pull that chest up. Exhalation, round. Careful of the head here, let the work be done by the chest. The head goes back. The head actually stays in a pretty natural position in relationship with the spine. Okay. Be careful of this kind of pushing of the head backwards. We want to avoid that. So chest lifts up. And really see that the head doesn't change very much in its relationship to the rest of the spine. So really let the work be done in the chest. Good. Let's stay in the lifted position for a few breaths. Lift and take advantage of the shape to have a nice full inhalation. Really get that expansion of the ribs and the lift of the chest and the fullness of the breath. See if you can find the breath going into new places in the lungs, places that you rarely breathe, places that often aren't open to your breath. See if you can find a way to flow the prana in there. Good. Exhale, bring the body forward. Good. Come forward, hands and knees. Good. Let's bend the arms to make sure that the elbows point to the back. We'll keep the bum in the air. Good. So when we exhale, drop the chest towards the thumbs. The arms stay by the sides. Inhalation, lift. Exhalation. Elbows by the side, body, chest going towards the thumbs. Remember that a lot of times people put the face towards the arms. No. Good. Chest going toward the thumbs. Head, face going forward in front of the hands. If that's too much for your shoulders, just go down a little way and straighten, right? Or maybe halfway. And inhale, straighten, or maybe exhale. Face going quite close to the floor. Inhale, back up. Use the breath. Rest when you need to. Nice. And next time you come up, let's go back to sitting on the heels one more time. Hands behind, palms or fists on the floor. If you have a delicate back, then let's just do the first section again. Inhalation, lift the chest, exhalation, round. That's the starting shape, starting movement. If you want to do more, next time you inhale, lift the hips as well. Baby camel, exhalation, hips drop, spine rounds. Inhalation, front body lifts, open. Exhalation, release. Inhalation, expand. You can keep going like that, or if you want, next time the hips lift. They stay in the air as long as the breath can continue to flow. You can stay here. If the breath won't flow, then return to the movement. Next exhalation, if you haven't already, release. Come forward. You can either do child's pose, or if you're ready, come forward. Take it back, downward dog. Just make the shape move around. Just let the body open, let the body be loose. Good, let's keep breathing. In downward dog. Shift the camera a little. Good, let's make a few little flows here. So, simple one is as you inhale, you come forward and the knees go down. Exhale as you release the body down onto the floor. Inhalation as you lift the chest. Exhalation as you go back to downward dog. If you want stronger practice, then of course do it from the full expressions. Chaturanga. Down. Urdhva. Inhale. Exhale back. Do a few like that. Just find a little rhythm. Basic simple vinyasa flow. Making sure that you move with the breath. And you find the intensity level that's good for you. Resting any time, either downward dog or child's pose. If you want more intense practice, then keep going. Do a few more. So many different kinds of expressions and ways of doing this little combination. You don't have to be stuck in the full high intensity shapes all the time. You could do more repetitions, but with lighter intensity as well. That's also good. Nice. Eventually making your way to downward dog. Good. Let's draw the right leg into the air. Exhale, pull it in towards the chest. Bring the shoulders over the wrists. Exhalation. Take the leg out again. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, pull it back. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, pull it back. Inhale, come forward. Good. Next time the leg comes forward, put that foot on the floor. Good. Keep the fingers on the floor, either side of the right leg. Back leg pressing down. Good. You can come up into nice solid lunge position. Chest is open. Let's have the hands on the hips. Let's concentrate on the legs here. Chest is open and lifting. Actually, you can have the hands on the hips. Pull the elbows in towards each other. Just let those legs work. Feed the posture with steady breathing. Good. Let the body come forward again, fingertips on the floor. Good. Let's hop the back foot back foot forward a little bit more and place the foot flat on the floor. Good. Staying forward. See if you can push the hips back a little bit and bring the front leg straighter. Releasing the head. So, of course, you just have to stop when you feel the pull on the hamstring is too much. You can stop if the leg straightens, great. Always breathe into the pose, of course. Always breathe into the pose. Good. Bend that front leg. Place the hands on the floor. Exhale to step it back. Downward dog. If you want a little rest, take the child's pose, or stay in downward dog, or do a slow flow. Inhalation slowly forward. Exhalation slowly down. Inhalation slowly up. Exhalation slowly back. Remember, not only is the movement slow, but the breath is slow and powerful, which is much more difficult than doing it quickly, right? Not much use in that. Slow and powerful forward. Slow and powerful down. Slow and powerful up. Slow and powerful back. When you're ready, that left leg from downward dog will lift into the air. Inhalation forward. Exhalation, pull that leg back. Inhalation, pull it in towards the chest. Shoulders come forward. Exhalation back. And then next time the leg comes forward, pull that foot forward and place the foot on the floor. Back leg, heel pressing back. Just adjust the legs. Let the base be strong. Here, the base needs to be quite strong. Both legs activated and aligned. Let's keep that base. As we come up into simple lunge, hands on the hips. Keep that back heel pressing back. Don't pull the heel forward. Press the heel back. Right, that line goes backwards. This line goes forwards. Elbows pulling in. Have the chest lifted. Full breathing, inhalation. Take advantage of the shape. Nice maximum inhalation. Just let the legs work, let the breath flow. And when you're ready, hands go down. You can step it back again, child's pose, or downward dog, or slow flow vinyasa. Up to you. Again, you can do a few vinyasas if you like, or do child's pose, or downward dog. Good. Let's come forward, drop the knees to the floor. Stand on the knees. Good. Hands on the hips. Let's lift the chest again. Remember the knees are about hip width, directly under the hips. Squeeze the elbows in. They're moving towards each other. Contract the bum. And then lift the chest up. Lean back a little. Press into the hips. And as you press the hands into the hips, you actually can lift the chest up more. Keep the bum firm. Stay here for a few breaths if you like. Come out anytime you need to if you want to go deeper. Come back. Hands go to the heels. Lift. So the posture goes that way. Up. It's a little bit hard on the head, I know. Neck can be quite uncomfortable here. It's hanging in the air backwards, so not the most comfortable thing in the world. Head comes up. Exhale. Lift it up. Turn the toes under. Push into squat and drop forward. Definitely the opposition pose to camel, or a counter pose, if you will. Good. Slowly bring it up. Bring it forward. Exhale into downward dog. Let's bring the right leg into the air on inhalation. Exhale, pull it in towards the chest. Bring it forward. Take the foot down. Back foot down. Let's do warrior two. So the weight on the feet is pretty even. Body centered, upper body centered over the hips. Shoulders down, arms reaching out. Front knee over the ankle. Let's flow a little bit from here. We'll keep the base as it is. Exhalation. Parsva Konasana, extended angle. Inhalation back to warrior two. Exhalation. Into the side angle. Inhalation back to center. Yes, legs might be burning. That's fine. Good. Next time you come to warrior two, straighten. Shorten the stance a little bit. Exhalation, Trikonasana. Remember, it's fine to be quite up high. Hand above the knee in Trikonasana if it's more comfortable. If you have more space, the hand goes down lower. onto the shin. Next inhalation, coming back to neutral. Exhalation, jaw forward, child's pose, or downward dog. Flow through vinyasa if you wish. Then when you're ready, from downward dog, left leg rises into the air. Exhalation, pull that leg in towards the chest, come forward. Place the foot on the floor. Place the back foot on the floor. Warrior two. Once you made the shape and found the breath, next exhalation, Parsvakonasana. Inhalation, back up. Exhalation, Parsvakonasana. Inhalation, back up. Good. Next time you come up, straighten the front leg, shorten the stance. Exhalation, reach forward. Take the hand down for triangle pose. Remember, it's absolutely fine to have the hand up higher. If that allows you to breathe and have more space and comfort, fine. Only deepen the posture when the breath can stay with you. When the body will open enough to create at least some sukha, some sweetness and comfort in the pose. If the whole pose is gripped and tight and closed and uncomfortable, it's a fairly good sign that you've gone too far, past the edge, past 80%. So if your 80% is here, no problem. If you practice well that way, then eventually your 80% will be lower and lower, or maybe not. It doesn't matter. Right? Quality is in attention, awareness, breath, and the connection of body, breath, and mind together. That's the yoga. Not about how deeply you can go in the physical shape. Inhalation, coming up. Exhalation, drop it down, take it back. Child's pose if you want, or downward dog, or vinyasa. Whatever you chose to do, of course, is an expression of breath, stability, an expression of awareness, unity. Very good. Let's drop it down to heads and knees. Let's go a little deeper into the breath. So, exhalation, child's pose. Inhalation, hands and knees. Let's pause the breath for a little longer, maybe between 1 and 3 or 4 seconds. Then exhale smoothly back. Inhale all the way forward, fill the lungs, 80%. Pause between 1 and 3 seconds before you exhale smoothly back. Keep going. Remember when we work with this kumbhaka as a pause after inhalation, make sure the release of the exhalation after the pause is smooth. We don't want to hold so long past comfort zone where the breath goes out like, ugh. Right? Exhalation breath should be the same smooth release as it has been throughout the practice. Nice. So adding a little bit of pranayama technique, right? Pranayama, of course, being the practice of working directly with life force energy, which we call prana, mainly through the breath. Good. And when you finish that, on your next exhalation, child's pose. Good. Then let's come forward and let's place the arms into the parallel forearm position in an elbow balance position. Remember that we touch the fingertips. See, it's hard to see, isn't it? Touch the fingertips, middle finger to the outside of the elbows, which will make the correct parallel forearm alignment. Let's pull the shoulders back. So look down at the arms. Are they parallel? Are the elbows under the shoulders? Are the wrists the same width as the elbows? Is the middle finger? Are the middle fingers the same width as the elbows? Pull the shoulders back and down. Good. If you want, you can just walk the knees back a little bit and do a gentle version. Or you can turn the toes under and do a downward dog version. Pulling back, push the heels backwards and lengthen the spine backwards. Let's flow a little bit here. Inhalation, look forward, bring the shoulders over the elbows, the hands under the face, or the face over the hands. Exhalation, back. Inhalation, flow forward. Good, use the breath. Powerful, powerful tool for your practice. Keeping the breath engaged and connected with what you're doing. If you want to, next time you come forward, you can stay there. And more intense, keep the breath flowing. Exhale back when you're ready. Drop the knees down when you're ready. Child's pose or downward dog when you're ready. Or you can sit on the heels. Let's take a few moments with full breath concentration, whatever you've chosen to do. Let the breath be deep, slow, and long. Remember, we have two major factors in the breath. One is how long it takes to finish an inhalation and an exhalation, or how long it takes to finish a full one single breath. Generally, yoga is trying to increase the length of time it takes you to finish a breath from the beginning of inhalation all the way through the cycle to the end of the pause after exhalation. Instead of creating faster breathing, yogis want to create slower breathing, more powerful, deep, steady breath rhythms. And the other factor is of how deeply the breath enters and fills the lungs. So your intensity. Sometimes we really work to fill the lungs deeply and fully. Other times it's not as important. So there's lots of subtleties to the breath that are so interesting to pay attention to. Good, and let's do one more. This is optional. We'll go back to hands and knees. Sorry, forearms and knees. Measure the space. So you place the elbows directly under the shoulders and then the forearms come to parallel. Pull the shoulders back. Make the elbow dog shape. Find the breath. Good. Bring the shoulders a bit forward. So they're over the elbows and you're lifting up, right? Don't let the body drop down here. Lift. Lots of options here. You can just lift one leg and try to pull the weight away from the floor. And then after a few breaths, do the other side. Right? Or if you're not in danger of possibly breaking any furniture, you can try to flip the feet or come all the way up if you can do it. Otherwise, jump and change the feet. It's a little difficult. Don't break any furniture. If you want to try at some point at home, which is probably where you are, just kick it up against the wall. Yeah. Don't try it in the middle. Use the wall. Anyway, when you're done with that, coming back down. This one, if you can sit on the heels, fine. If you want to go deeper, you take the hands behind you. Right? You can turn the toes, tuck the hips under. Right? Which pulls the belly in and presses the lower back down and activates the fronts of the legs. Right? So just moving the hips, tucking them under, might for your body create enough length and work in the fronts of the legs. If you want to, you can move the heels out to the sides. Some people like to move the calves down or to the sides. Make a little bit more space. If possible, the hips tuck in between the heels and the hips go down towards the floor. That might be enough. That might be the biggest challenge in your knees. So if your knees really don't like this one, then just respect that and come out. Or you can sit cross-legged and do the same thing. Otherwise, if you can stay here some breaths, fine. If you want to keep going, you can go to elbows on the floor. Keep pulling those hips under and the belly in and the lower back down. Stay here, or you can start to make your way to the floor. Try to keep the shins on the floor. If they come up, that's okay. But let's not have the knees out wide. Pull the legs in towards each other so the legs are, the knees are about hip width or closer. Supta Virasana. Arms can be over the head, by the sides. You can still be up on your elbows, that's fine. Come out anytime your knees suggest that you should come out. Very good. And if you haven't already, gradually release. It's always nice to straighten the legs, so from downward dog or from hands and knees. Just take a few moments to balance out the knees. Great. Let's sit on the heels again. All right, but this time we'll lift up. We'll move the left hip onto the floor, or if you have a cushion or a folded blanket, you can always put that by the side of your hip and place that left hip on the blanket. Okay, so the feet are to your right, near the hip. Good. Let's lift up through the chest. Let's draw up through the arms. Lift a little bit more through the chest. Take a big inhalation, and on your exhalation, you'll twist to the left, away from the feet. With the chest still lifted up quite strongly, the shoulders going down and back a little bit, so that front line of the chest between the shoulders is open. And you're twisting gently to the left, with the heart rising, the shoulders dropping, the breath flowing, the head on top of the spine. So you can stay here for a few more breaths, but let's extend the length of the exhalation. So inhalation, lots of space for inhalation here in the upper chest, great. Let's consciously change the exhalation so that it is longer. There's a breath pattern we call Visamavritti, not balanced breath. So exhalation and inhalation are not balanced. Exhalation is longer, which has a more releasing kind of effect, a more detoxifying kind of effect in this posture. So the twist posture naturally is detoxifying, and exhalation also detoxifying. So put them together, and you've got even more detoxifying power. Get a few more breaths, long exhalations. Nice. Next, inhalation. Return to the center. Sit on the heels. If you've got the folded blanket by the hip, then put it next to your right hip. Then lift the hips off the heels. Drop that right hip down onto the floor or onto the blanket. Good. Feet are still quite close to you. Knees are together. Good. Lift up to the chest. Lift up to the arms. Lift up the chest more. Lift up to the spine. Take a big inhale. Exhale. Move into the twist. Remember, the heart is lifted. The shoulders are going back, so that line across the chest is quite open. There's certainly a backbend element in many of the twists, especially this one. Extend the length of exhalation again, Visamavritti Pranayama. A lot of pranayama patterns you can do inside of the shapes, inside of the asanas for extra effect. Long, smooth exhalations, longer than inhalation. Hopefully you can feel what happens when you extend the length of exhalation. There is a releasing, right? Detoxification means release, isn't it, right? Toxins that are inside of you are being released. That is the essence of detoxification, isn't it? D means go out. Go out, cello. Yao. So as you feel the body releasing, then and this pressure on the belly and the long exhalations, all those combine together for a detoxification effect. Good. Next inhalation. Return it to center. Good. Let's bring the legs out in front. Create some space between the feet and the knees. Good. Let's just grab the shins and lift a little bit. So lift the chest, lift the heart. So you use the arms a little bit. You pull against the legs, and that helps you to pull the chest forward and lift up with the shoulders down. When you're ready, inhale, draw the arms up. Let's exhale. Let's use Visamavriti again. Exhalation is longer. Coming forward. Inhalation, normal speed. Might feel a bit fast now. Exhalation. Slow, slow, slow descent. Inhalation, back up. Exhalation, Visamavriti pranayama, distinctly longer than inhalation. Good. Feel that nice slow descent, that slow entry into the pose. Good. Keep going like that. If you want, next time you enter the pose, then stay in the pose with the same breath pattern, long exhalations, but you're staying in this Kurmasana, the tortoise pose. Releasing the body forward. Inhalation, sort of normal length. Exhalation, distinctly longer. Visamavriti pranayama. Nice. Finish the next exhalation. Then let the inhalation bring you back up to the center. Let the exhalation release the pose. Drop the knees out to the sides, pull the feet in. Good. If your knees are up quite high, you can slide the feet up away from you a little bit more. Good. Or if you need to, you can sit up on your prop. Let's see if we can work the same breath pattern here. Inhalation. Lift and open. Exhalation. Smooth and long as you drop forward. Inhalation as you come back up. Lift the heart, fill the lungs. Exhalation is longer. Movement is slower as you come forward. Which doesn't mean that you can't fill the lungs fairly fully as you come up. It's just a bit faster. And then from that nice expanded breath, you can create a longer, slower exhalation. Eventually, classical Visamavriti takes exhalation to double length of inhalation, which of course is very calming for the nervous system, very soothing, very releasing, very relaxing. Great breath pattern before bed, double length exhalations. Or any stressful or tense moments in life, double length exhalation, good way to keep the relaxation and keep tension from building up. Good. If you haven't already and you want to stay forward for a few breaths, next time you exhale into the pose, maintain the long exhalations as you stay in the forward position. And next inhalation, bringing it back up to the middle. Release the posture. Good. We go towards shoulder stand. Remember that if you're menstruating, better to do your menstrual poses, some hip openers, either from seated, right, Baddha Konasana or Upavista, or of course you can do Supta Baddha, or any relaxing poses. Best not to do inversions during your period time. But if you are going upside down, then come up to the front edge of the mat. Roll the feet up, roll the knees over the face. Remember that simplest version of shoulder stand is that you're tucked up in a little ball, legs into the chest. Most of the weight on the upper back, and staying like that. That is already the first stage of shoulder stand. If that's all you can do, fine. That's great. If you want to do a little bit more, the weight comes a bit higher up onto the back. The hands go onto the place where the hips join the lower back. The iliac crest is what they call it. You can come into a bent position. This is called Viparita Krani Mudra, so it's a version of shoulder stand. Most of the weight still on the upper back. We want to avoid a lot of tension and pull on the neck, so be careful of that. If you feel too much pull on the neck, then you back off. You roll more of the weight onto the middle back and away from the upper back. If you can, though, if possible, then the legs start to come up. The hands go a bit higher, maybe the palms touching the bottom ribs, and the legs straight up and over you. Hopefully there's not too much tension on the neck. Right. Keep the legs gently firm. If you know Ashwini Mudra or Mula Bandha, you can have a bit of pelvic contraction or sort of perennial contraction here. If you want to go deeper still, then you engage again Visamavriti Pranayama, longer exhalations. So we want the shoulder stand to be quite calming. We want to learn how to do shoulder stand in a way that's pretty soothing, very non-stressful, as easy as possible. Said to be one of the most nurturing postures in the whole yoga practice. Salamba Sarvangasana. So keeping that breath nice and steady, and definitely slow exhalations if you want to descend one leg down and keep the other leg lifted. Maybe the foot goes to the floor, maybe it hangs in the air, it doesn't matter. Keep the breath slow. With slow movement, you can switch legs. Now when you do shoulder stand, see if you can just switch down the gearing a little bit so you go into slow-mo. Slow movement when you're in shoulder stand. Nice and easy, gentle. So we don't want to rush anything in shoulder stand. We don't want to do anything fast. Shanti, shanti. Nice and easy. Maybe both legs come up. If you need to roll out of shoulder stand, then you can release and roll yourself out. If you can do a bit more, let's go to halasana. Legs dropping toward the floor. If the legs are still hanging in the air, bent is fine, or straight is fine. Feet on the floor, also fine. Hands can interlock behind the back, or hands can remain on the lower back or over the head. Try to keep that breath slow, especially exhalations, or just in general, slower breath. As we become more calm, the breath can be slower. If you take the stress and the intensity out of a pose, then the breath can move slowly and freely, fluidly. If the knees bend and drop by the sides of the head, that's fine, Karnapadasana. If you're done, roll out. Keep the face, especially the eyes, quite soft, hopefully. You were able to close the eyes sometimes in the practice, especially in shoulder stand. Eyes closed is good all the time. Nothing to see in shoulder stand, so turn your attention inwards so you can feel more, be more aware, and calm yourself down. There's a lot of fire in the eyes, so if we can calm the eyes down, then we can calm down more. Whenever you're ready. The spine can roll back to the floor. And the hips release to the floor, and the feet release to the floor. Some people like to do Matsyasana fish pose after shoulder stand. That's fine. I don't prefer to do that myself, but if that's something you like, then you can go ahead. Otherwise, we'll just take a simple twist. Bring the arms out, straight or in cactus. Let's walk the feet towards the right side and shift the hips slightly to the right. Right leg crosses over the left. Take a big inhalation, and on your exhalation, drop the legs to the left, looking to the right. If possible, continue to engage Visamavriti. Eyes are closed. Attention's inwards. Conserving that power. Turning the power that we use to see and notice things in the outside world. Turning that power to the inside world. Let the face be very soft. And if possible, Visamavriti exhalations, nice and long, very smooth. Hopefully the body's in a position that you can really start to relax quite deeply. Softening everywhere. Especially in the face and head. Especially in the eyes. When you're ready, the legs release back to the center. Release the legs. Bring the spine back into alignment. And then walk the feet towards the left and the hips slightly to the left. Left leg crosses over the right. Take a big inhalation. Exhale as the legs drop to the right. Build a posture that is comfortable. Any kind of stress here is not useful, so if it's too intense, make the pose lighter or just come out to Savasana. Soft everywhere, including and especially head face, and especially the eyes in the head. Closed, soft, focused inwards. Exhalations are long and gentle. Whole being is softening. And next inhalation. Legs release back to center. Untwist. Let's go to Savasana. So make sure you're warm and comfortable. You need to put some clothes on. Put some clothes on. I personally like a blanket always, unless it's really hot. Lay yourself down. If you have something to cover the eyes with, that's even better. Remember that, of course, our nervous system and our bodies react to darkness by generally becoming calmer and more relaxed. So if you cover the eyes, with something that simulates a little bit of darkness, and it will help our bodies to release more quickly. As you adjust the body on the floor, building up a nice aligned position in Savasana. It's nice to have something under the back of the head too to lift it up a little. Once you made the shape, see if for a short time you can create a very long exhalation, extra long, and extra subtle, and very relaxing. So find a way to exhale gently but long, but stay deeply relaxed. In fact, be more and more relaxed as you exhale. Nothing you do here should create tension or agitation. Just create these longer but very gentle exhalations. Do maybe 5 or 10, then release completely and enter full Savasana. Doing nothing, being still. Slowly, gently, starting to awaken the body again. Try to keep the eyes and face especially very soft, even as you start to re-engage with the world. Rolling onto your right side when you're ready. And slowly pushing it up to seated. It's building again the Sukhasana posture. Hopefully, we've created more sukha in our beings through the yoga practice, more sweetness, more harmony, more balance, more clarity. So with crossed legs, aligned spine, hands in front of the heart. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Sri Guru Bhyo Namaha Hari Om. Good. Just release the head forward towards the floor as a gesture of respect, gratitude, connection, humility. And bringing yourself back up. Thank you so much for joining the practice today. Thanks to the Sanctuary for offering these opportunities to share our yoga with the world, both online and especially live when we get going again, hopefully in the near future. And of course, we'll continue our wonderful and amazing yoga program at the Sanctuary. So thank you to them. Thanks to all of you for joining us and paying attention. Remember that we have a gradually building archive of classes that we've done first live, but they of course are saved on the Sanctuary Facebook page. So you can go back and repeat or practice any of the classes there. So not sure how many are up there now, but that is definitely a resource you can use, right? And it's our gift to you because we love you and we want you to stay connected and happy and balanced in these crazy times. Remember too that I run the Swara. I've got yoga brain. The Swara Yoga Academy, which we're on swarayogaacademy.com. And we do run trainings at the Sanctuary, both in August and March. So you're more than welcome to join us. Just write me a little letter or write the Sanctuary to find me. And I hope to see you soon. Hari Om, Namaste. Thank you.